our very own One Punch Man himself, for Warframe use, Atlas. My build with him is really nothing special, to be quite honest with you, because all you're going to be using is his first and his third. His second and his fourth just comes down to preference, utility purposes, some lull moments, all in good fun. Rumblers may end up punching somebody. Once in a while, they'll start to fly, but you're not going to be depending on your rumblers like that. You're just really not. Of course, they have a lot of health, the armor, the damage, all of that stuff is nice. And for the most part, people like to use these rumblers in low missions, as far as exterminate, mobile defense, whatever the case may be. All right. And as far as with tectonics, you just put down a huge wall made of boulders, rocks, and you could petrify it to enhance its durability. And of course, you could throw it at enemies, roll over them, they'll fall over. It's all fine, all for giggles and laughs. But when you're going into a long duration survival run, you're going to be using your third and you're going to be using your first, obviously. So I got Vitality, Intensified, Transient with the Prime Continuity Cheese. And there he goes. He came online. Natural Talent, Streamline, Fleeing Expertise. So I maxed out on my efficiency. And of course I have I was about to say Streamline. I already said that. Bah. Got Stretch in there. The Stretch is obviously for my first ability. Since for some reason when you're trying to do some kind of combos, you're going to want to have some form of range so that you can punch guys much more quickly. And of course, Stretch being in there, you're going to benefit from Petrify a lot more, because instead of 14 on the range, it's going to be 20 once you got Stretch in there. Now, as far as with you dealing with enemies, it's just going to come down to your first and of course your third. Did it die out? Yeah, it did die out. So, normally, when you see guys, people would rather go and do the whole punching stuff. Let me just start punching guys in the face and all that. It's all fine, it's all good. But once you come across enemies, what you would rather do, all right, what you would rather do, I would rather petrify them. Petrify them, and then you could go to town on them, because when you go and do this, it's rather easier to deal with these guys. Now, of course, it's going to take a little bit longer, but I mean, hey, I would rather do this to them. And each punch that you do land is going to be doing hella damage. And even if you were to take any form of health damage, have the Haruto on you, because each time that you do land one of your punches, you will land a critical and you will heal yourself. So I could have went to town with these things right here alone with Atlas after I froze them and go about my business. But for the most part, when you're dealing with high level enemies like that, petrify them before punching them, shooting them, whatever the case may be. Because if you start punching them and all that stuff, what about the other guys you got to worry about? You know what I'm saying? So I would rather petrify them. Just do that, and then you could just go like this on them. Just start punching them, land all the criticals you want to on them, should in case. Just do that. See? And when you do that, for the most part, they're not going anywhere. And there you go. That's practically it for those guys. Of course, it's going to take some time. But depending on whatever melee that you're holding or wielding, you're going to be dealing damage and you'll take them out much more quickly. And plus with Atlas, when you're dealing with Atlas using Landslide, Landslide benefits off of the melee mods that you have on. Alright? So since I have the Haruto on me, it's going to benefit off of the mods that I have on it. Now, of course, you must be wondering, why didn't my health regen and all that stuff kick in. Remember, my health is already full. But if I were to take any form of damage and I have the Harutos out, it's gonna heal me. If I use Landslide and all of that stuff, it's just gonna be benefiting off of these mods here. It's not gonna take the Haruto's effect into account, which is this thing right here. Steals health with each critical hit. No, that's the Haruto itself. The Landslide benefits off of your melee mods. Hold on, I don't know why that thing is still going off there. Stupid Panthera and this. I don't know, every time when I go into Simulachrome, that shit happens. So, it says right here, if you just go to the tips and you would read about it. Where is it? Landslide damage scales based off of mods from Atlas equipped melee weapon and his melee combo counter. Alright. Combo window right there. Of course it has that negative, but again, if I were to get that up, of course I'll be positive with it. Alright. So there are a number of things you could do with Atlas, but for the most part, when you're going in survival missions, you're going to be doing Petrify, you're going to be doing the Landslide. Now, once you hit at least 200, you're in the clear. But what you can also do, if you don't mind the efficiency loss, you could just have Blind Rage in there so that you could go over 244. And you don't have to worry about the efficiency because Fleet Expertise and Streamline will still take care of you because Landslide doesn't cost as much every time you land a punch. Alright? So what you can do is just have Intensify off. And you could also put in Transient in there as well. So you'd be like, the hell with duration. I just want to have my strength up there so that I could just keep punching things in the face. Now, as you see, my combo window is low, but you see my damage is high. So each time you land that punch, you could still keep the combo window up as long as you keep punching dudes. But for the most part, you could just do the Petrify and then start punching things in the face. Because as you all know, when they start scaling, you're going to keep punching regardless. So I'd rather just have a lot of power strength and then not before long, they will die. Alright, so you don't have to worry about that. So do that. See how every time I punch, you'll see the damage keeps going up. See how I land that critical right there on him? Punch his ass out of there too. So you see, these guys are going down much more quickly. But here's the thing though. You see how I just ran out of energy? That is where you're going to be suffering once you got Blind Rage on. So it's just going to come down to you making a number of tweaks and all of that stuff when it comes to your mods, because you're going to be running into that issue. Kill those guys off. So you can also go this route as far as with Atlas if you're going to be having that issue when it comes to energy. You can go like this. Get a little prime flow in there so you have more energy. You just slap that in there. 744, go like this. And then you could probably put back stretch if you want to. Or you could go transient. Let me see. You could go Augur Secrets. 194. Take off fleeting right there and just go streamline since you have a whole bunch of energy. Go like this. And since you have a little bit left, you could just go Intensify. Have 224, have the range at base, have efficiency at 130 and duration at 128. Now see, if you have duration of at least 128 or at least be in the positive, you can have a good combo window to work with. Alright? So there are a lot of ways that you could work with Atlas when it comes to him. There's a lot of ways you could work with him. So now, since we have efficiency to go along with a lot of energy, you go see how this works now. Go like that. See how that guy's about to succumb to death already? See? Dead already. Clap him again. See how that 4 times went up right there? Sent his ass into outer space. So even that build there is a little bit better just because of the fact that the combo window, see how I got it to 4 times? When you keep landing punches, you'll be doing more and more damage. So it just comes down to what works best for you when it comes to Atlas landing punch after you petrify them, because all that comes down to is just energy at that point, and a matter of how quick can you land those punches, get the combo window up so you could do more damage on your punches. But for me, for the most part, I would rather just have it like this. Have it at 200. Get rid of this. For that fleeing expertise. Have fleeing expertise in there. And then if I just want to have like a little bit of duration, you could even go right here and do this. Put that in there. Should at least you have a little combo window to work with. An extra 6 seconds. Maybe. But it's up to you as far as how you want to mess with this. You want to have more duration, but you'll have your range at base. Or if you want to have more range so you can have more of a distance to get that punch going, but you'll be suffer as far as with duration. It's kind of up to you how you want to mess with this guy. Alright? So, I don't really worry about duration myself when it comes to survival. I would rather just have stretch in there, because every time you do land a punch, I think it's still in the game where you're invulnerable. So let me try that right quick, because that's the only thing that matters when it comes to survival. Each time you land a punch is like you're protecting yourself from death. All right. So let me just have one of these guys there. Yeah, see? Every time you land a punch, it's like you're protecting yourself. So it's not like, oh crap, you know. See? Every time you land a punch, you're protecting yourself. So there that goes. So it's all up to you, man. It's all up to you how you want to build Atlas. But for the most part, you're just going to be petrifying and you're going to be punching dudes in the face. You're not going to be doing this. And you're not going to be summoning these guys in survival. Because trust me, these guys will go down like a ton of bricks. Or in this case, rumblers or rocks. Whatever you want to call these guys. They'll go down. So that's practically it, man, as far as with my strongest Atlas build. And he's running off into the... Oh, there he goes. Let me go right next to you. Yeah.